Happy Thirsty Thursday, and welcome to the third episode of Dink and Sink It, a podcast where you speak it, we drink it. So for this episode, I'm here with my friend Deontay, who honestly I don't even know that well, but hopefully by the end of this hour we end up being pretty good friends. So Deontay, do you want to go ahead and explain what today's episode is about?
Today's episode is going to be kind of split. So we're going to do 5 things that, 5 little stories of me experiencing some form of racism, and then 5 also kind of piggybacking what I would want people to be informed about when it comes to the black community, per se.
All right, so just bear with me. Today's topic is a little bit more of a serious one, but we're still going to be drinking. So today's code word is going to be racist, and let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, we're going to try to we don't want to be too serious, but, it's definitely going to be serious, but we don't want to be, too, Yeah. But, okay, so the first story that I have that I'm going to be talking about is when I was talked down upon by a teacher. And I just want to also say, this is not to, bring down any race or be ignorant. This is to shed light on a situation and topic, and we just want to inform people about certain things. So, so the first thing that I'm talking about is my teacher. So one day when I was in school, me and my friend were on our way to class, and this teacher that we have, he kind of says certain things that's, a little out there. And we were walking into class, and my teacher, the first thing he says to us, because me and my friend were late, is, "Oh, so you guys are just going to be late to class. You guys are just fitting the black stereotype. What are you guys going to do next? Rap? Play some basketball in here?" And yeah, he just
my God.
He just fully went in.
I'm assuming this teacher was white.
Yeah, he's definitely white. Yes,
okay.
He is.
What grade were you in? Do you remember?
I would want to say probably my junior year.
Oh, so you're at that point you're pretty much an adult.
Yeah, for sure.
Kinda. So I don't know.
Yeah, this
That's
is
so awful.
recent.
I just don't understand how he didn't get in trouble.
Well, I mean, we didn't report it. I'm not the type of person that takes things too serious. I know obviously you shouldn't be saying it, but I don't get too offended by certain things. I definitely, gave him a glare, a little look, why would you say something like that? But at the end of the day,
I'm surprised nobody in the class said anything.
Oh, it was one of those moments where how when someone says something, and you're like, wait, did they just say that?
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those. So it wasn't instant reaction, oh, why would you say that? Why would you say that? It was kind of what?
Oh
Did he really just say that? But yeah, I never reported it. I never said anything about it because, like I said, me myself, I'm the type of person that I don't take stuff to heart most of the time, but it was definitely ignorant. But I also, at that time, I used to say stuff that I shouldn't have been saying, talk probably about people the ways I shouldn't have, so it's not fitting for me to have went and just snitched on him when I know even myself I was doing and saying things that I shouldn't be doing, even though what he said was not right.
Yeah. I personally feel like there's a difference between if you're it's just a high school thing, people get made fun of, and it's
Yeah.
I feel like I obviously don't know, but probably making fun of them not innocently, but in a childish way. We're this is a grown ass man.
Yeah, definitely.
Who knows better and is not even making fun of you over something stupid. He's making fun of you over your entire life.
Yeah, he went out. Yeah, he went out on a limb with that one. And it's funny because I said something to the effect of why would you say that later on? And he gave me the answer of, dude, that doesn't even matter. You know that's not serious. I have and he referenced, I don't want to say what this person is to him, but he has a black associate, and he referred to, I have this person in my life. So we don't take that serious. It's just just me messing with you. But it's just at the end of the day, why would you say something like that?
That's I feel a racist favorite line, which I'll drink to that in a minute, but is, "Oh, I'm not racist. I have a black friend."
That's
this
two.
One, that's basically if you're racist, you've said that at some point in time.
Yeah, it just. Let me see. Okay, I'll take it. Or is it just you? Is it just you that drinks?
Go ahead.
Both of them? Okay. Yep. Might as well knock them.
I just want to let it be known that Deontay's drinking this straight out of the bottle.
Yeah,
I could never.
I'm trying to take it like a champ. But yeah, when it does seem like when people get called out for doing or saying certain things, their first line is, "Oh, but I have this black friend, or I have this and that." And at the end of the day, that's cool, but that doesn't reflect on what you can do or say, you know?
Right. I mean, because you can be racist, you're just not racist towards that one person.
For sure.
That is your friend.
Yeah, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches and let people just say what they're gonna say and just try to ignore it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad that, like, black people have to just be used to it. Like, that's just so sad that...
It's crazy, but...
That's just, like, how it is normally. You just have to be like, whatever.
Yeah, you adapt to it, though. And that doesn't sound good, but after a while of hearing certain things and them being redundant, you hearing it so often, you just get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that still does not make it okay. But that being said, I think I'm going to try to jump into number 2. And this is about me not being able to date a girl because of the color of my skin.
That's so terrible. Like,
yeah,
that's so terrible. And honestly, you hear that a lot.
Yeah, it's a thing, but it's a thing on both ends. So even with black families, sometimes black families don't really fully accept a white female or male into a black household. It goes both ways, but yeah, in this instance, I was not able to associate with this female that I liked because of the color of my skin. And we would hang out, and it'd be so weird because we would hang out like after school, and it would be so quick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We would literally go straight from school to wherever we were hanging out at, whether it be like JD's to get some ice cream or just back to whoever's place and just chill for a little bit. And it would always be, oh, I have to go now. You know?
Yeah.
And then so I'm like, okay, what's up with this? So I'm like kind of interested on what's going on, but I don't think too much about it at this point. But eventually, yeah, it led to me not being able to go over there. It was, oh, I can't hang out today. Then it was, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have time. We might have to stop talking as much. And then it eventually led to, I can't see you anymore. My family does not want me to talk to you. They don't believe in interracial couples.
So did it get, like, was it to a point, like, did you just catch on, or were you explicitly like, is it because I'm black? Is that why?
Well, when it first started happening, I was a little, you know, I wasn't aware of what it was. I was just thinking, okay, maybe she's busy. Maybe, you know, we're going to have to make time another day. But the more it went on, and over the course of like a few days, at first, I'm not gonna lie, when we hung out for those like quick little 30 minutes, it's like, okay, that's cool. Maybe, you know, she's just busy. But then it kind of struck a chord, like, okay, yeah, where are her parents? Where are these people?
Yeah.
I haven't met them, but like I said, I started kind of catching on, but I didn't fully know, so I don't want to make assumptions on something that I don't fully know about.
Yeah.
But she hit me with it, you know, and she was real upset. She was crying. She felt really bad about it, but
yeah, it's just like not saying. I mean, I guess I kind of feel bad for her because like that just puts her in a shitty situation where she has to, like, I mean, it's not like she can go against her parents being in high school still. I mean,
and that's the thing. She somewhat could, but at the same time, like, yeah, you don't want to go against your parents when you're still living with them. You can get kicked out. You won't have a place to stay. If you argue with your parents, it could lead to just a bunch of unnecessary arguments that you don't want to have to deal with. So I understand her making that decision. And we still communicated. We were still, you know, friends, but just not on the level that we were before. We were not able to see each other. So
yeah,
we kept it cool.
And kind of going back to how you said it is on both ends, I took this class at Sinclair, and it was like African American psychology, but like she just basically talked about like real life stuff that happened. The professor was black, and she said her brother brought home a white girl one time, and the way his mom explained it, she's like, you know, I don't care. Obviously, I don't care at all.
Yeah.
She said you have to understand that she's not gonna understand your struggle. Like she's white, and like she can say. not saying that she's going to be racist, because obviously she's not, but she's not going to understand, why you do things the way you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, she's going to be there for you the most she can, but she's not going to understand.
Be able to fully connect to you on the way that, like, an African American female would.
Yeah.
And, you see, in some instances, I would say some people may not be able to fully connect and understand what you may go through with certain things, but at the same time, skin is skin. If someone understands what you're going through, they're gonna understand it. Period. Yeah. So even if this female is white, she still, she has compassion. She still understands. In some, I'm not gonna say in every instance, because sometimes people claim that they understand what's going on, and they might seem somewhat knowledgeable of it, but they don't fully get to what effect that it has upon us. So, but like I said, I think some females, not even just females, just the white race can understand where we come from for certain things, but there is also that percentage that may think that they know, and they don't know to what extent we go through certain things, and it's just a big mess, honestly. But if someone knows, then they know.
Yeah, I feel like there's this small but growing percentage of people that are like woke, I guess, if that's still like a thing. Like they understand, but I feel like there's this big percentage of people who are like, racism doesn't exist anymore because segregation isn't a thing. And like they don't understand like you're trying, but you're so ignorant to everything else that's going on.
That's so crazy to me that people really think that like racism is not. How many? Okay, we have to take a couple drinks for that, because you just said it twice. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so let me.
I do have a question though, just going forward.
Okay.
I don't know if this is just like me not being cultured, but is it offensive to like? Do you prefer to be called black, or do you prefer to be called African American or something else?
Well, me personally, I don't. It doesn't bother me if you call me black. Some people, they get real triggered. I'm not black. I'm African American. We are African American, but at the end of the day, it to me at least, it's not that deep. You can refer to me as black, African American, as long as it's nothing. You're not referring to me in an ignorant manner. Then I'm not gonna judge what you're calling me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
I don't know if it's offensive to ask people in general, like,
nah.
Hey, what do you prefer to be called? Because I've met people who are like, I'm black, like, I'm just black. That's like, I don't care. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like people. They're like, well, I'm not black. Like, one, my skin is brown, and two, like, okay. I'm African American. Like, I'm not a color. And so, like,
I don't know. It's not that deep for me. I'm black. I'm African American. All of the above. But like I was gonna say, it's not. You said you feel. How did you say you felt?
I said I feel like if just asking is offensive.
Yeah, it's not offensive. Nothing is offensive. I feel like if you're genuinely like curious.
Yeah.
If you're curious and you're not knowledgeable of something and you ask, it's not offensive. You don't fully know, so we're going to, shed some light on you.
Yeah, and I feel like most like black people are pretty understanding about that. Like, it's just funny because like one time I was hanging out with Emily and Jaslyn,
mm-hmm.
and I said something about, I used to work with this girl named Jasmine who was black, and I'm just like, Jaslyn, like, I don't understand, like, her hair, like, she comes to work with different color hair almost every day, like a different color, and Jaslyn's like, yeah, it's not real, and I was like, what? Like, what? She's like, yeah, it's a weave.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, like, she
yeah.
doesn't dye her hair every day. And Jasmine's like, no, like, is she black? I said, yeah. She's like, yeah, it's definitely a wig or a weave.
So you're thinking that she was just
dyeing
I was
like, she's killing her hair. Like, it is going to fall out.
No.
And Jasmine's like, you just really didn't know?
Yeah.
I said, no.
Yeah, black women do wear weaves, yes. They switch it up.
I really, like, I hope just anyone that I've ever encountered, like, I hope I've never offended anyone. Like, I really am just curious. That's all.
You can't really take offense to it. In my opinion, you can't take offense to someone trying to figure out something. How are you gonna feel offended when they don't know. They're literally asking you so they can gain the knowledge to talk about it, or like, I don't know. I just don't get that.
Yeah,
but,
I don't understand.
Everybody's different.
But this is just me going forward. Like I'm never trying to offend anyone. I just am curious. That's
yeah,
all.
Yeah, for sure. I get that 100%. You don't have to worry about offending me. If you don't know, you don't know, and that's with anybody. Okay, let's see. Okay, so number three. Number three is going to be about me getting followed around a store. Now, this one is a little bit different because I can't fully say that this person was racist. I'm gonna just because, in the other instances they obviously said something along the lines of, you're saying you're being racist, honestly. So, but this instance, I was just being followed around the store, and it was kind of weird for me because as I'm roaming around the store, there's a bunch of people in there. It's a bunch of people in the store, but it's not many people that look like me in that store, you know? So as I'm walking around, I think it was, and this was in Florida, I believe. I think I was in Florida when this happened. Walking around the store, walking around Macy's, checking out watches, just looking at clothes. And this man, literally, he's not like rolling up on me, sticking by my hip, but I see him in the distance, literally staring at me. And I wouldn't stare at him back. I would just kind of, walk around and kind of glance over to see if he's still looking at me. It was me and my dad. And this man was everywhere. I purposely went to another side of the store just to see if I was, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. Nah, he's not really watching me. Maybe he's just really just standing over there. No, I went to the other side of the store, and this man literally followed me. And then he rolls up on me and says, do you need something? Just like that. You need something? I was like...
How can I help you?
I didn't get
no customer service voice at all.
Nope, I didn't get the, hey, can I help you with something? No, I got the, you need something? I'm like, wow. So you're just going to follow me around this store this whole time. And there's other customers that need help. Like, people are literally looking at stuff. I'm sure they need help. They want to buy what's in your store, and you're going to just follow me and then rudely ask if I need something. And I just don't understand, why are you, like, I don't know. I just don't get why people would do that. Do you not think I have the money to purchase something? What's the issue,
Yeah.
But I have no clue. But that definitely was, to me at least, a sign of racism.
Oh, definitely. It wasn't like...
No. It
wasn't just...
He was targeting for sure.
Yeah.
But
that's so terrible.
It is. It definitely is.
Especially like, there's just all these people.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people in the store. It's a pretty big store. I think it was in a complex. And I was buying something, like I was literally taking my time to try to see what exactly I wanted. But it's people in the store that are literally picking up items. And he's just standing there staring at me. Me and my dad. That is just so mind-boggling to me that a person can do that. Like, go help somebody, dude,
Yeah.
What
do you even do in that situation? Like, do you say something like...
No, I didn't say anything. I'm like, yo, dude, like, why you staring at me, bro? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I just... Because, like I said, it was also... Is this guy staring at me? Is he really looking at me? Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I trip out. I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. But no, I was not tripping.
Yeah, after that,
but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, that was when I was like, okay. I was like, no, sir, I do not. Left, made my purchase, and got out of there.
Yeah, I hate that. Because, like, I mean, what do you even say at
really
that
can't.
point? If anything, what can you say without them being like, I knew it. I knew they were coming in here to cause trouble. Like,
I don't know. Like, and that's another thing. So, sometimes, that might be another number. Let me see. I don't know if I want to speak on it yet. If it's another. I'll talk about it. So, sometimes when I'm in stores, right? You know Plato's Closet.
Yeah, I used to work there.
Okay, yeah. So.
Awful job. Never worked there.
Okay, never. You don't like it?
Oh no.
Okay, I'll take your word. But sometimes I'll be like at Plato's Closet. I'll go in with my bag. I'll go in to turn some items in, try to get a little cash for some stuff that I don't need, and I will head out of Plato's because obviously I don't want to stand in the store for an hour and wait.
Yeah.
I'll go to Five Below or something in the complex, and I just don't feel right. I just don't feel right walking around the store because I feel like I have to make a purchase. Otherwise, I'm going to be looked at funny.
Yeah.
Someone's definitely going to, just look at me as, and depending on what I'm wearing as well. As a black kid walking around, maybe I got a hoodie on, whatever the case may be. Just walking around the store, not buying anything, just looking around. Just because I'm not the type of person that's going to want to just sit in my car for an hour. I might not be hungry. I don't want to get food. I might just want to, look around the store, see what they got. But even that for me is like, I don't want to do it. Just because I know I'm going to be looked at so funny just for not buying anything and just walking around the store, being me, But I don't know. It's all weird to me that this can all happen because of my skin color.
Right.
My skin color makes me feel like I can't walk around the store and just look around. It's crazy.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Like I said, sometimes you just gotta adapt to it, get used to it. Unfortunately, this is never gonna be a thing that completely dies out. People are always gonna be prejudiced. People are always gonna discriminate. It's just how the world is. If me and you had the same pigmentation in our skin, they would find something else to discriminate against. It'd be our hair. It would be something.
Yeah.
It will never be just we're all equal.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. And there was this big move, color blindness movement, oh, we don't see skin color. Okay, but you, I understand, that's coming with good intentions, but just ignoring the skin color problem altogether, that doesn't solve anything.
Yeah. You said there was a movement, color blindness.
I just feel like
that was a thing at one point.
A big deal where people are oh, we don't see skin color, everyone is equal.
Who was saying that? Just a big group of people?
Yeah, just a social media thing.
Uh-huh.
Or I see it a lot with moms on Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's this picture of two kids holding hands, a white kid, black kid.
Yeah, I've seen.
We don't
those.
see color.
Yeah, I've seen those before.
And it's just that doesn't. I mean, it's good intent, like I said, but it doesn't solve anything.
Yeah.
You're not teaching anyone, oh, just ignore the fact that they're black. Just ignore it. That doesn't.
Yeah, I fully understand what you're saying. We don't see color, but we're not going to acknowledge the fact that these people may have a rougher time doing certain things. We're just going to act like, it's not even a thing.
Not only that, but, be proud of who you are. I'm not just going to ignore people. A lot of people are, from my understanding, are proud to be black, and I'm good. That's your history. That's
should be proud
of
be whatever
heritage.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah, be proud to be who you are, and just this whole we're just gonna ignore skin color. Well, now you're ignoring all of their history, and you're ignoring everything about where they came from, just to say that you're nice to them now.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I'm kind of on the fence for certain things because I understand sometimes what people try to give off, the energy they try to give off, color blindness. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you don't see skin color, and that's a good thing. But I can also understand what you're saying. It's always a little teeter-totter game with certain things, but I definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was looking at this research the other day, and I'm about to blow your mind. You ready?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of an older study, but there was these resumes that were sent out, and there were 4 names put on these resumes. 2 of the names were white, 2 of the names were black. These resumes were submitted to thousands of companies.
What do you mean by a white person name or black person name?
Okay, we're gonna say Betty. What would you consider that as?
A white person.
Okay, here we go. And LaQuisha. There we go. That's a good black name. But Yeah, so there were two. Technically, no name is white or black. Let me just say that for the record. But there are some names that obviously you may hear and you just associate it with a certain color. If we're being real.
Yeah.
If we're being real. And 50% fewer calls were given back to the two black names. And the resumes were the exact same.
Oh.
Same companies, same resume.
Yeah. That's without a doubt. What they don't even get past the name. You know that.
Yeah.
And
LaQuisha, boom, get it out of here.
It's
Throw
just,
it away.
It's. I don't want to say, that it's funny that it's not funny. It's not.
Yeah,
funny,
it's real, but
it's funny that because my friend Taylor, which is a white person name, her name's Taylor.
Yeah.
She's black, and she said there's no limit to what you accomplish when you sound white on the phone. Because she would get calls back because her name's Taylor. So this is some white woman.
Yeah.
And like she was said that she would sit in front of the mirror and practice sounding white.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's another one of my things. Yeah. You got to switch it up. Sometimes you got to switch it up because you being yourself sometimes does not get you very far, unfortunately.
Yeah, and she's like when she went for a job interview for something. She's like, I had to dress like not myself whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything that they could have said. She's like, I straightened my hair and it wasn't because she dyes her hair like different colors. She's like, I straightened my hair and I took all the color out of it. I took all the piercings out of my face. And she's like, if a white person went in there and they still had a nose piercing, like they might frown upon it, but it's not going to cost them the whole job.
Yeah.
She said, but the reason I'm going, she's like, the reason I wouldn't get the job is because I'm black. But they're going to say it's because, well, we don't allow nose piercings. So she's like, I had to tone down everything about myself to get this job.
And she tried to eliminate the whole problematic, like anything problematic that could have looked wrong with her.
Yeah. So they would have to, I don't think anyone's ever going to come out and say, we're not going to hire you because you're black.
Yeah, no, I would hope not. Let's not make that a thing.
But you know that it's happened.
You might be thinking it.
Yeah.
You might think in their head, this person. And that's sad. I feel like most people would not think like that. But there is always those select few that just despise people of another color.
Yeah.
Both sides. Black people don't like white people, and white people, they do not like black people. That is always going to be a thing. So sometimes you have to try to play that role of I'm black, but I'm a well-groomed, educated black person.
She always, people used to say, they're like, oh, she's like a white black person.
Yeah.
She doesn't sound black.
Mm-hmm. And that might be because she's trained herself not to try to sound black so she doesn't get judged. It might be. Yeah. I hate,
she said it in such a jokingly manner. But
no, she probably really meant it. Yeah.
When, she's like, there's nothing you can't accomplish when you sound white on the phone. She said it it was so funny to her, but you take a step back and you're just like, damn.
That's real.
That's real.
100%. 100,000%. Okay, let me see what's next on my list. So next I'm going to be talking about, let's see, the time that my neighbor disrespected me. Okay, my neighbor.
Was this recent?
This was, I want to say, it's been a few years.
Okay, so it's not where you live now?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's my old house. But my neighbor, she's real quiet. She doesn't talk much. I really have not heard her talk much at all. But sometimes I'll see her out in the yard working on stuff. She'll be doing stuff in her yard. Might see her come outside every now and again just to relax. And one night, it was funny because I don't know why she was outside, but she was outside trying to lift these boxes. And she was struggling with the boxes. She was trying to lift them up. And it seemed like she was having trouble. And she was making this funny noise. She was I don't even know if I want to try to make the noise she was making because it probably hurt everybody's ears right now. But yeah, she's making this funny noise. And I walk over to her and I said, hey, like, do you need help? I can help you with that. And she said, hey, why don't you just go back to where you came from? And I cannot make this up. Like, this stuff sounds so crazy, and I know some people probably are like, wow, like, what? That really happened? Yes,
Yeah.
these things really happen. And I'm sure other people have way worse stories than, hey, go back to where you came from. But that's what I got that day.
That's, and I feel like if anyone would have been like, why'd you say that? And she's like, well, I meant like go back to his house where he
That
came
is
from.
not what she meant.
That is not what you meant.
That is not what she meant. You can tell by the way someone says something and the way that they look at you when they say it. That was personal. That was personal. Yeah.
That's.
I was trying to help the lady out. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. Didn't walk onto her property, act in any type of way. And she is an older lady. Maybe she just grew up not liking.
I hate that excuse.
Yeah.
Like when people are like, well, they're older. They grew up in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Unlearn it.
Yeah.
Learn to not be a fucking racist.
Try to. You could try.
I mean, it's just.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, go ahead and take it. I got you.
Like, it really can't be that damn hard to just respect people.
Yeah.
Even, I'm not saying this is right, but even if she was thinking that.
Just don't say it.
She could have been like, no, thank you.
Yeah, think it all you want. Just don't let that come out verbally. That's just so disrespectful.
It's not hard. And I really hate, like, there's so many excuses for, like, well, they just grew up in different times. And, like, I will say, like, I know, I'm not going to say who it is, but this person who's older who thought it was still okay to call black people colored people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no.
Yeah.
But she's like, honestly, like, I just don't know how to refer to them, I guess. Or
yeah, colored is probably not the best way to go.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's probably not, you know.
Colored people, the way that I've, like, heard is, like, people of color is okay because you're acknowledging that they're a person before their color. Yeah. Where you're saying colored person.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, honestly, just growing up, that's what they were called. And, like, I've never, not saying that she hasn't, but, like, I've never seen or heard of anything where she's been racist in any way, but she just didn't know. But, like, there's people out there, all of my family is from, like, bumfuck Egypt, Kentucky, and they're racist. They're awful and racist. Yeah. And, like, my grandpa thought the N-word was, like, still okay to say.
It's just acceptable. You just say it.
Like, hard R and everything.
And it's probably, like, not, it's probably in a way to put down somebody, I'm assuming. To hurt another person. It's not like, oh, yeah, that's, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that always, like, there's never been a time where it was nice to refer to someone as that.
No, it's always been a derogatory type term.
Yeah, I feel like at some point in time, I don't know how long ago, like, calling someone like a colored person was, I mean, it's not nice, but it wasn't like.
Yeah, of course, because it transitions. It goes from the N-word to colored people to black people to African American. It's like, you know, a smooth transition. Mm-hmm. So yeah, at one point, being called a colored person probably was like the greatest thing to some people because they were so used to getting called the N-word and other type of, you know, things that they shouldn't be getting called. So yeah, it transitions. It transitions for sure. But being called a colored person today,
it's not okay.
It's not. Yeah, that shouldn't be your go-to. But like I said, this lady was kind of older. Maybe she grew up thinking that was okay for some reason. I don't know. It's not okay. But do you know who Emmett Till is?
Emmett Till, he was one of them. Was he someone that got shot and killed by police?
No, he did not get shot and killed by the police. But Emmett Till, and this happened in 1955. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
He was in the gas station and he said something about the gas person, like the person that ran the store, his wife.
He whistled at a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was working, and then after he was off of work, he went into I believe it was some type of store, and he literally just whistled at this lady, who was 21 years old, and keep in mind this kid.
He was 14.
He was
14 years old.
14. He whistled at this woman, and after he whistled at this woman, 4 days later, they grabbed this man, not even this man, this boy, out of his sleep in the night, and they tortured him. They beat him. They put barbed wire around his neck. They shot him in his ear, took his eye out, did all type of disgusting things to this boy, murdered him, and all because he whistled at a woman. This was 1955.
People do this all the time.
1955.
In 1955, and like this is just something that I don't want to say I'm passionate about, but it's like the lynching was only federally outlawed in 1968.
Yeah, some people don't realize how recent that
51
was.
51 years ago,
yes.
it was illegal, or it was legal to hang someone in a tree.
Yep. Strange fruits hanging.
That's...
Yep. There's a song that says that.
Nina Simone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I did a whole project about it. But, okay, so it was illegal. Just like slavery was made illegal and the last slaves were released 50 years later.
Yeah.
The last lynching that took place in the U.S. was in 1981.
That we know about. Yep.
And honestly, like, it's happened more because there was, it wasn't Trayvon Martin, but it was someone else. I can't remember who it was. But it was the one in Ferguson.
Oh, see, I don't want to say the wrong name, but I know what you're talking about.
So the kid that was killed in Ferguson, I gotta look it up now because...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure I have the right name, but I don't want to say the name and not be fully right. If it starts with an M. You gotta
Michael Brown.
I was about to say, if it starts with an M, you gotta take a drink.
But there was like...
Yep. I'm sorry I had to do it to you.
There was a cousin of Michael Brown, because the Michael Brown shooting is what started the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
In Missouri, with all that riots and things like that.
Yeah.
But one of the cousins of Michael Brown was lynched in Ferguson, and that happened in what, 2010 maybe? Yeah, not that long ago. Too recent.
This is
to happen.
Super recent.
And like shit like that still happens, and
it does.
Everyone just turns a blind eye.
Yeah, they just act like it doesn't happen. They try to act like, slavery was never a thing. People try to act like, oh, I don't know why black people are so concerned about slavery. It doesn't affect them today. They weren't even alive when it happened. And people act like this was not something that was going on, like, not too long ago. Like I said.
Like, it still happens.
Yeah, it's still happening today.
And so, yeah, when people are like, well, what do they, like, they want, I don't want to, like, a common thing that I've heard is like, oh, black people just want, like, they, not payback, but, like, they want justice for slavery. Yeah. Like, no, they want justice because people are being killed in the streets because they're black.
Yeah, we want to be treated equally. That's what we want. We want people to treat us like how you would anybody else. No matter what we're wearing, no matter if someone is sagging their pants, which we all shouldn't, pull your pants up. But, we even if someone is sagging their pants, don't treat them any differently than you would someone who has their pants put up. Don't treat black people a certain way because they're wearing a do-rag. No matter what we're wearing, no matter what we sound like, we just want people to accept us for who we are and to treat us like a normal person. That is all we ask. We can't even get that sometimes, but we're working on it. It's been a lot of progress, I will say that.
I will say there's progress, and there's like a Martin Luther King quote where it's like that we've come so far from where, but we're so far from where we need to be.
Yeah. And like I said, it'll never get to that point where everything is 100% good. But as long as we're making those steps to do better and get it at least somewhat close to being normal, then I guess we're doing something right. But let me see. Okay. My number 5, I'm not going to lie, my number 5 was the shopping in the store thing. I kind of talked about it a little bit. For how I felt when I walked around stores and Play-Dohs and whatnot. So... should I just breeze past that a little bit? Should I touch up on it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, do you have another story to go on with it, or?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have a story, but like I said, it's just when I go places to look around in stores, I just don't feel accepted, and I've gotten glares and people looking at me kind of funny, but I don't know if I have a specific story for that. It just happens, unfortunately.
Do you make it a point, either knowingly or subconsciously, if you leave someplace and don't buy anything, do you make it a point to make your hands visible? No, I mean obviously not walk out with your hands not in your pockets.
I definitely do that. I do it all the time. When I walk in a store, if I don't buy anything, as I'm walking out, I will Just take my hands out my pockets, kind of look around, make sure people see me not taking anything. Even if I'm walking around in the store and I know I'm not going to buy anything, I will literally walk slowly. First of all, I will not walk up to certain items. You know how you can like stand back and look at something that you want, and some people you can like walk up to the point where you can just grab it by like just sticking your hand right there. I don't walk too close to aisles just because I know I don't want anything to look hidden. I don't want people to think, oh, why is he walking so close to the rack? He might be trying to take something.
Maybe a bitch is just blind and not trying to read.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely make it a point to not have my hands in my pockets, not to be just looking like I took something, just because I know I didn't. But at the end of the day, I don't want people looking at me funny. I don't want people to have to come up to me asking me, hey, did you take, like, I don't know. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, I feel like people won't just walk up to you and say, hey, did you just steal something? But I guess it's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's just a thing where you want to just...
There is this time I remember just, like, specifically for some reason that I was with, like, it was, like, me, my friend, his mom's black, and we're going somewhere. I want to say it was somewhere stupid, like McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
And so this lady in front of us is ordering. She's white and, pays with her card and leaves.
Yeah.
And, like, so my friend's mom gets up to pay for our Happy Meals or whatever and goes to pay with her card, and the lady's like, can I see your ID?
Wait, what was she buying?
We were at McDonald's or something. And, like,
she said, can I see your ID?
Yeah, because she was going to pay with her card. Yeah. And, like, wanted to make sure it was hers, I guess. Like, I don't remember specifically because I was so young, but this is just what I remember. And, like, that lady that was in front of us turned around and just was like, well, you didn't ask me for mine.
Yeah. Like, why would you have to see someone's ID when purchasing McDonald's? That's
just... she didn't steal the card, I guess. I don't know. But it's just like...
That's crazy. Like
that.
That's so sad.
I'm sure, like, at that time that my friend's mom was like, yeah, like, she just knew.
Yeah, you know. And when you know. Like, okay. And you just do it sometimes.
And,
sometimes
props to that lady in front of us. No idea who it was, 15 years later. But, like, if you see something, just say it. Because when you call people out, they get very uncomfortable very quickly.
Yeah, and they'll fix that action. Most times they do. They'll fix it.
Yeah, and so it's just, if you, act like you don't understand, like, if you understand but you act like you don't, people will get uncomfortable having to explain it to you. Because they're basically trying to explain why they're racist.
Yeah, some people will break it down. They will make you feel super uncomfortable. And that's good for them, Yeah. If there's some racist activity going on, okay, yeah, hold on. Okay, we got to catch up. They probably heard that.
Oh, that's fine.
They had to. That was a good one.
But yeah, that's just something I remember is like just her being asked for her ID to buy, $10 worth of McDonald's.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's
very stupid. How people can get. Oh my goodness. I don't know. But yeah, that should never be a thing. Yeah, she just wanted to pick on that lady, it sounds like.
Yeah.
She probably had nothing better to do. She was probably a little bored.
I'm bored. I'll just be racist.
Right?
That's so awful.
That's terrible. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try to. I don't know what time we're at. Does it have a timestamp on it?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. So let me see. Okay, so now I'm about to get into the 5 things that I want people to know about black people or our race. The first thing is that many of us have different views. I feel like a lot of people, when they talk to us or treat us in a way where we all act the same or have the same beliefs, and that is not the case. So we have so many different views. If one of us stands up for something, it's a good chance 50% of our race may not believe in it, vice versa. There's a lot of people in the black community that are very accepting of interracial relationships. There's a lot of people who are not. There's a lot of people who accept, it's just so many different variables when it comes to the black community. And I feel like when people talk to us, they just think, yeah, okay, I'm talking to this black person. This is how black people feel as a whole.
Yeah. I feel like that's a very bad, like, overgeneralization.
Yeah.
Because, like, I guess me speaking as, like, a white person, like, I don't assume that every white person is a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
And you shouldn't, because it's not the case.
It's not the case at all.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel that black people should be like, oh, well, he's black, so...
Yeah, we're put in a box sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, we have a bunch of different views. I feel like even when people look at us and try to talk to us, they're like, okay, yeah, this is how black people act, right? Let me try to talk to him like this. Like, we're so different. You do not have to try to, adjust to us, because we have so many different viewpoints. We act so different. You cannot put us in a box. That was just one thing that I wanted people to know.
Just because, I mean... Because, like, sure, you're black, but you're also a male, so you probably share the same beliefs as other males that are also not black. And, just stuff like that. Like, you're black, but you're also all of these other things that make you an individual.
Yeah,
so it's
we
hard,
are individuals.
It's hard to believe that there are people that think that all people of a race or ethnicity, like, think the same way. Like,
they do.
We're all individuals.
We all are, yeah. We're all very different from one another. Even me and you, we're two completely different people. Susan down the street is a way different individual than us. You cannot box anybody into any category. And that is one thing that should be known. Because I feel like most people don't realize that. Some people just think, hey, this person... I'm going to generalize with everybody else just because I feel like this is how most of them believe.
Yeah.
But, yep. And then, let's see what number 2 is. Number 2 is, and this is you do not have to always piggyback on black issues to try to make us feel better. Even though that might sound a little bad, it's very true. If I'm explaining to you about how I got pulled over or whatever, I promise you do not have to try to give me a story about how you faced some type of discrimination. And like, I understand if you want to let me know and inform me just because, but you don't always have to, try to make me feel fully comfortable by telling me a story that resembles exactly to what I'm saying. Because 9 times out of 10, it's okay. Like, I understand. But... Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, this is just kind of like, I don't know if we're like on the same like page, but this is just kind of like a sensitive area for me because like I'm really passionate about like law enforcement. I'm really passionate about police brutality. That sounds awful. I'm not passionate about it.
I get what you're saying.
I'm passionate about bringing to light that this is an issue.
It's a thing.
And like I'm going to school for criminal justice, and like one of my passions in life is helping reform the prison system because of how racially biased it is.
Yeah.
And
they make money from those prisons.
Not only I'm not going to go into my whole spiel because we'll be here for hours, but anyone listening, look up the documentary 13 on Netflix, and it will explain everything that I want to do with my life. If you haven't seen it,
I have not seen it, but I would definitely.
So like I feel like I try really hard not to be like so overbearing, I guess, because I don't want them to be like, well, she's just saying that because like she wants the views or she wants like I feel like
if you have a real story, tell it.
Yeah, I mean I don't personally have a story,
but I'm saying if you have something like to say that resembles, like you can say it, but my thing is like just don't always piggyback on what someone says just because just for the simple fact that you want them to feel like you go through it too.
Yeah.
If you genuinely go through it, then by all means, tell me about how you faced whatever type of discrimination or how you got, whatever happened, whatever the situation may be. But if you're just doing it to try to make us feel better, my thing is you don't have to do that. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, we're fine. Like we understand that these things happen. And we've accepted it. If you want to make us feel better, then obviously we appreciate that. But you don't have to always try to.
So like basically, we're saying like if you're saying something about how you got pulled over, like you would much rather just be like, sorry man, like that really sucks. I wish it didn't happen.
You don't have to
Whereas
be like...
you don't want someone to be like, well, I got pulled over because...
Yeah,
sorry, Charles, you weren't, scared for your life while you got pulled over.
Yeah, like, I got pulled over too, man. I hate them. I hate how, and that's cool. But, and some people it's genuine. It's genuine from some people. So I can't speak too much for those people. But for some people, you can tell that it's just to just get a response from you and to make you feel better. And we do not feel better when that's happened, 9 times out of 10. And I'm not going to say we, because like I said, we are individuals. But I would say me, myself, it doesn't make me feel better. And it's happened a lot of times. But...
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, like I could say, man, I hate that pizza from Domino's, and they'll be like, yeah, I hate that pizza too. I hate it so much. Like, that's a good way of me trying to explain what I'm saying. But
like, I just don't like it.
It's okay. It's okay, man. Pizza wasn't that great. If you like it, you like it. But yeah, that's just my thing. We get that, we're different. You don't have to always agree with me. I appreciate the love though. Okay, my third thing. Oh, yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier. What you wear can affect how you're treated. And you told me about how your friend changed her whole attire.
Yeah, she changed her entire appearance for a job interview.
Yes, and that's so crazy. What we wear can dictate how someone treats us. And like I was saying earlier about the pants, if my pants are a little bit lower, which they shouldn't be, pull your pants up. But if they are, then, someone can treat me completely different than they would if my pants were pulled up. If I have a do-rag on my head because I just got fresh out the shower, I brushed my hair, I want my waves to, be crisp. So I'm wearing a do-rag around.
I honestly, had no idea what a do-rag was for until just now.
Yeah, so look, the do-rag. We take a shower, might put a little bit of, whatever the case may be, some oils, whatever in our hair. Get a wave brush, right? Brush the hair. The waves. I know you've seen waves before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the waves. The waves will be popping fresh out the shower. Brush your hair. And then you put the do-rag on, and then you might sleep in it. You might walk around with it just so it solidifies. The waves, they just pop.
Okay.
They pop. But they don't have that popping effect if you don't leave the do-rag on, So you might see somebody walking around with a do-rag on. It's not just, a look. They're doing it because they want their hair to look a certain way. And it is crazy to me that people can judge somebody so hard off just the fact that they want their hair to look a certain way. They might not understand. Like you said, you didn't even fully know what the do-rag was for. They might not fully understand. But yeah, it's not a fashion statement to try to look gangster like we're just really trying to have waves. That 9 times out of 10 is to have waves or to keep our hair matted down or something. Some people they don't want their hair all frizzy or they might have a little bit more hair. They might put their do-rag on to push it down a little bit, not to look ridiculous. But yeah, it's just it's a hair thing. It's not to look any type of way. We're not trying to get judged for wearing a do-rag. But unfortunately, that is the case sometimes. You see a black kid walking around in a store with a do-rag and his pants pulled down, and you're probably going to judge him 9 times out of 10. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. But yeah, we just want to wear what we want to wear, and that shouldn't dictate how someone treats us.
Right. I mean, people wear ridiculous things all the time.
Oh man, don't get me
Doesn't
started.
matter what color your skin is. We've all looked ridiculous at some point in time.
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure. People look ridiculous all the time. But that's a whole nother story. I could go on for hours about this type of stuff people wear out, but I'm not gonna do that. And then number 4 that I was gonna say is kind of a piggyback off of number 3. We must modify ourselves in order to fit who we're around, and you also talked about that earlier.
Oh, about the
with
phone
the voice.
Thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've done it. I'm guilty. I've done it multiple times.
Trying to sound white, whatever that means.
You have to, and we don't want to, but we have to sometimes. We have to try to sound a certain way to get the things that we want. And I'm trying to think of how I want to explain this. So we're still ourselves, obviously, but I could talk to you a whole different way, and you might see me as a whole different person.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to play it by the book and just be real politically correct when you're talking to people, when the way you're moving. Everything's taken into account when you're trying to get someone to adjust to the person that you are, especially a person of color. So I could be applying for an interview. I'll say that because I've done this before. I'm going to speak from experience. When you're on the phone with somebody, even when you're like checking up for an interview, and you have to say something to them, you don't want to call and be like, yeah, I'm just calling to, did y'all get my application? You don't want to talk like that. Obviously, the same message is relayed, but you want to sound real correct, and your voice is going to change when you do it. You don't want people to think that you're ignorant. You don't want people to think of you a certain way, so you're going to say, hello, I was just calling to see if there was any way possible that you could check on the status of my application for the job that I just applied for. And you're going to want to do something like that. Just because it's going to give you a complete different approach. Even though, most black people do not talk like that, that's how we have to talk to get results.
There's like this concept, like I'm just going to tell you about it and you tell me how you feel. Because like I learned it in that class. I might have just spit. Whoops. But, so basically my professor, who's black, was talking about how, like, the way that black people talk with, more slang and...
Yeah, we throw it in there.
Like, not as, like... I don't know how to explain it.
Just say it.
Like, less formal, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, people don't believe that that's just a dialect. Like, that's a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, yeah, see, like, I've said that to someone else. I'm like, I don't know how, like, what do you think? And she's like, honestly, like, I think anybody has to switch up their voice to be professional. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, to a degree. She's like, I don't think the way, like, the person I'm telling this to is also black. She's like, I don't think the way that black people talk is a cultural thing. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, she's like, it's just unprofessional.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Do you think it is just
unprofessional? How
it is? Or do you think it's actually a cultural thing?
The way that we talk is like a cultural thing, you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, because...
I don't know if I'd say it was... that's a difficult question. For some people, it might be cultural, but that's not the case for everybody. Some people, they just grew up in a certain environment and they just talk like that. And they don't know how to speak properly, unfortunately. Some people, they don't know how to act for an interview. I don't know if I call it cultural, but it's definitely something that some people can't help. Some people were not raised around a certain group of individuals to know how to talk different. Me, I could switch it up, and I know other people that can switch it up, and that should be something that everybody should be able to do. Because, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. If a white person walked into an interview, or if they walked up to get an application and they said, hey, can I get an application? It would seem so normal. And if a black person walked up and was like, hey, can I get an application? It's going to seem a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like I said, okay, so just envision, just close your eyes. Envision a white person walking up to a desk saying, hey, can I get an application? They're going to, they might not think much of it. And like I said, this is not everybody. Some people are very good. They don't care about skin color. But some people, a white person walking up to a desk, hey, can I get an application? They're going to give it to you. A black person walking up, remember, keep your eyes closed. Hey, can I get an application? It's different, for some people. It's just, and it's a shame that it's like that, but you have to go a little bit further. You have to take the extra mile to try to sound more professional. Just because you won't get the same results as you would if you were not black, unfortunately. So you have to switch it up sometimes. You have to change your voice. Cultural, I don't know if I'd say it's, I don't know. For some people, maybe, but not everybody. But
there's also just this other story. It's like my friend Cash, he works at this like insurance place or whatever. He works with like a bunch of old white guys.
Yeah.
And so he says there's this guy that he works with, and Cash is black. Mm-hmm. And like when his coworker talks to like other white people, he sounds like super just like normal, like white. He sounds white, I guess. And like Cash like says that like when this guy talks to him, like he tries to like sound black, I guess. Yeah. And like Cassius says that he doesn't say anything, but he can just notice like a different, like he's trying to be inclusive.
He wants to be accepted. He wants him to think that, you know, he's one of them, and he's not gonna maybe he feels like he won't get that result if he's just himself. And that is like what we're talking about with black people. We do that same thing with white people. We try to change up how we talk and the way we act to try to fit in with you guys whenever the case may be. And it's just no need. Like, just be yourself, honestly. But sometimes
I feel like that guy, he goes with good intent. Like, he's trying to make Casher like welcome, but it's at the same time just don't do that.
Yeah, just be yourself, man.
Just be nice, but don't do that.
Yeah, if you're white and you want to talk to a black person, just talk to them however you would want to talk, like normally. Don't try to switch it up, because we can tell. We can tell. we might not say anything to you, but we get the vibes. Trust me. We might look at you a little funny. We might give you the little head nod, like, okay, I got you. But there's no need, man. Just be yourself, and you'll be accepted. Your job interview is a little bit different. Like I said, you have to maybe switch it up for an interview just so you can get ahead. And unfortunately, that's the case. It shouldn't be that way, but for more formal things and like interviews and whatnot, you gotta switch it up. You don't want people thinking you're ignorant. You're that ignorant black kid, even though you might not be. They will think you are. So, but if you're just trying to talk to somebody and be somebody's friend, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if you're white, black. It really doesn't. Just go in acting completely normal, and I promise if someone's gonna like you, they're gonna like you for you. You don't want to change yourself for anybody.
I like that.
100%. And then let me see what else we got.
This last one I'm a little like kind of confused, but like you obviously haven't explained it yet.
Is it the token one? Yep.
Oh, it's just like the movies and films.
Yep. Okay. So, the movie one, I'm gonna try to break it down for you a little bit. When they make movies about stuff that's happened in our past, and they try to reciprocate what goes on, just pay attention. Next time you see a movie like this, it's not always like this.
Like, what kind of movie are you talking about? Like a movie about like slavery?
Yeah, it could be a movie about slavery. Yeah, they always tend to throw in one token person. You know who that person is?
No.
It's the white guy that saves the day.
Oh, okay. So what is a token person? Like, what
a token person is a person that okay, so there's token black people in movies, right? So there'd be a movie with a full white cast, and and there's like one black guy, and
there's one black kid.
Yeah, he's probably like, oh hell yeah, bro, like, you know, he's probably talking like that. That's the token black dude, like, and there's always a token person is just someone that stands out. They might be there to help. They might be there just to be a part of the movie to make it look better. But a token person is just, yeah, that's what it is. Just a token extra person.
Okay.
Pretty much. But we appreciate the movies that show what happened in the past so that, you know, certain stuff doesn't turn back around and happen again. But it just seems to me like sometimes when these movies come out, like even like racial movies, I'm gonna take one for that. But even racial movies that come out, there's a person that saves the day, and it's never like about the movie. It could be a racist movie, and there's always one white guy that like can come in, and he was down the whole time. He stayed real, and that's the reason why the black people got out the predicament that they were in, because of this one white person, and they saved the day.
What is the football movie?
Football movie.
I can't. It's not. It's like a super popular movie where like it's like in the middle of segregation, and like the black kids are like part of the football team. It's like a super common movie. There's like a kid on there named Sunshine.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen it. That's terrible. But
You've seen it. I know you've had to have seen
man,
it.
Sunshine. I don't know.
What should I Google? Racist black football movie?
There's gonna be so many. Right? If you type in racist movies, I mean, it might pop up if it's really popping.
Remember the Titans.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen that.
Okay.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
But it's just like this football team that's like
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be really good, and they like go to champs, like typical football sports movie.
Yeah.
But like in the middle of segregation, and like not like at the end of segregation where they're like reintegrating schools.
Yeah.
And so like over the summer, this team like plays really well together. When it's time to go back to school, there's like protests of like white parents like blocking the school entrance, and there's like that one black kid's like, why can't we all just get along?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. There's always one token person, no matter like what the case may be. But and it's cool that there's a person in there because we know, obviously, not all white people are bad. But sometimes it's like, was this necessary? Like it can be a whole movie, and the movie's great. The movie's great because it portrays what happened to us. It shows, the negative effects of it. But it's like, okay, so I'm gonna give you I don't know what this movie's called, but it was a black and a white person, and this person was in like the KKK in the beginning. He hated black people. The black people were down bad, trying to prosper in life, but they couldn't do it. And at the end of the movie, they ended up prospering because this guy like ended up switching sides and was like, yeah, I actually like black people, and it's like. Like, yeah, that's great. Like, we love to see when white people treat black people with equality, but you just some movies, it's okay to let black people prosper on their own because it's happened in the past. Sometimes black people take that route of we got to stand up for ourselves, and I think sometimes people want to see that. They want to see the black community standing up for themselves and being able to prosper without the help of another race. Even though, we love when people show equality, but sometimes we do stuff on our own, and I feel like that's not portrayed in Hollywood and movies a whole lot. Yeah. It's always got to be someone to help us out.
I think, like just from personal experience, like when I used to work at Plato's Closet.
Yeah.
This girl or this guy came in and was selling stuff, and he had this like white guy, big swastika tattoo, and like there was Jasmine was like the only black girl that worked there for whatever reason, and I remember her, and she was the manager, like she was the real deal. So she like comes around the corner. I said, and I turned to that guy. I said, I want you to know, if you say anything out of turn to her, you're gonna have to leave. Yeah. And like part of me wanted to be like part of me was like. I don't want her to get her feelings hurt because, like, I mean, she's just doing her job. Yeah. And so it would be really crappy for her to literally, like, she has every right to be there because she works there to have to experience that. Like, yeah, I just feel like that'd be shitty. But then part of me was just like, maybe I should have just let her say something, like, on her own.
To the guy?
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta, like.
Like, I feel like. It's just hard to know, like, when to...
Speak up.
When to say something and when to, let someone else... Like, let that person take care of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did the guy say anything, like, crazy? Or was it just the fact that he had that?
It was just the fact that he walked in.
Yeah, yeah. And I get that. That could, make some people outraged. But I would say for myself, at least, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, if I saw that, I might get a little... irritated at the fact that someone would have, whatever it may be on their body or on their attire that's downgrading another race. But I would never, I wouldn't speak out myself unless they said something to me, just because that can turn into a whole separate big problem. Yeah,
like she never personally said anything about it. I talked to her about it, like, weeks after the fact. Yeah. And like he may have never said anything to her. Mm-hmm. Like, but I didn't want to give him the chance to.
You don't want to give him the opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, and I figured, like, if she would have said something before he even said anything, I feel like that might have been an issue.
Yeah, it would have been an issue, yeah. But that's good that you you were considerate enough to even say something to that man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't call him out in front of the whole store. I wasn't like over the microphone like, ladies and gentlemen, this man is a racist.
This man has a swastika on his body.
No, I was just like in the corner. I said, I want you to know if you say anything to her, for whatever reason, you're gonna have to leave. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. I personally feel like I maybe should not have said anything and watched. Like,
yeah, but you had good intentions. You had good intentions.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong with having good intentions, but at the same time, we want to avoid any problematic situations. But that's very good on your part for even thinking about. That just shows that you're a compassionate, good person.
Yeah.
You just wanted to look out for your friend, and you put your job to the side and didn't even think about it at that moment.
Yeah.
You took that personal initiative to say, hey, if you mess with my friend, like, you're gonna have to get out the store. And I think that's good. But at the same time, if you can avoid any problematic situations, by all means, just try to. But you did a good job, though. I would say that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I like that. Yep, for sure. I'm just gonna reiterate what I said in the beginning. Just kind of stuttering a little bit, but I just want to say this podcast was in no way to try to downplay anybody, try to bring anybody down. This was simply to shed light on the fact that there are still racial problems within the world. We still have to do way better with the stuff that we put out into the earth, the energy we give out to people. Everyone is equal. No one should be treated any differently than anybody else just because of the color of their skin. I genuinely feel that way. But I don't want anybody to think that I was coming after anybody. This was simply to show that there are problems in the world that we need to fix. I love everybody. I love everybody that's watching this. If you made it this far into the podcast, I love you. And I think that's it. That's pretty much it. I have no negative feeling towards anybody. I love everybody. I realize we got issues we got to work on. That's about it.
Yeah, I really love that. Yep. We we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go.
Yep, and we will try to get there one day. It might not be 100%, but we got to try to get that 99,
All right. Deontay, where can they find you on social media?
Social media, you can follow me on Instagram at DJ Noose. That's DJNUSE.
All right. And as always, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at emorgs09. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Dink It and Sink It. And as always, stay thirsty.